Today is the day you tell me who wins Sunday.
Skip, I've said this all along. I believe it's going to be a shootout. I believe it'll be higher scoring than what it was the original game when they played, and I think the final score was 27-24. I believe more points will be put on the board. I'm hoping that the thunderstorms or the shower that they're expecting, I hope they hold off until...
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
They're saying it's in the morning and it's going to blow away.
So. I'm hoping so, Skip, because the last thing I want is, sloppy play, the rain having an impact on the game. I just wanted to be, everybody on a level field.
Agreed.
And ball out.
That may be the last time we agreed this whole show.
But, Skip, I'm taking the Chiefs because it's hard for me to see a scenario in which the Chiefs does not get 30 points. I watched Washington turn the ball over with their backup quarterback that was taking online classes. He got 23. Drew Brees got 20 points with 4 turnovers. Aaron Rodgers got 26 points with a turnover. My homeboy has scored basically, what did he got? Averages 34 points in his playoff career. 6-1 in his playoff career. He's gotten at least 31 in every single game except the game that he got hurt the first drive of the third quarter against Cleveland. But the matchup within the matchup is going to be JPP, Shaq Barrett against the 2 backup tackles for Kansas City. Can they protect Mahomes? If they can protect Mahomes, I believe they'll get to the magic number, which is 38. If they cannot protect Mahomes, I still believe they can get to the high 20s, maybe low 30s, but that gives Tampa an opportunity to get to an even higher 30s. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. I got them winning 38-34, and Mahomes is going to be spectacular. He's going to need to be spectacular because, as we mentioned yesterday, Skip, I believe from top to bottom, player for player, roster to roster, I believe Tampa is the more talented of the teams. But I believe Mahomes is the difference maker. I think FOX Bet and I think all these gambling sites believes Mahomes is the difference maker. So I'm going Kansas City 38. I'm going Tampa 34. And the Chiefs become the first team in 16 years since the great New England teams to go back-to-back.
So you're telling me that a washed-up 43-year-old quarterback with declining skills is going to put up 34 points on Steve Spagnuolo's defense, an architect who shut him down in the first Eli Super Bowl? Really? Interesting.
Hold on. Let me so you just, now yesterday, that's not what you said. Yesterday you was talking about they beat the number 2 defense. They did that. They beat the number 4 defense. They did that. They beat the number 9 defense. If you don't mind me asking,
Thanks for listening so carefully.
So where is Kansas City ranked? They're in between 2 and 4, or are they in between 4 and 6?
Who had the highest-ranked defensive player on the board, according to Pro Football Focus? Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs. A game wrecker blowing right up the middle, right in Tom Brady's face at 43, right? You got that going for you, but you're going to poo-poo that.
One guy, but they got 3 guys in the offensive line in the top 10. But we got 1 guy in the top 10, and you're like, oh, Chris Jones. See how you try to build that narrative? If Tom Brady does this, this is his greatest achievement ever.
Okay, it is my turn. And I will begin my prediction with the truest truism I have ever spoken in all my years watching, covering, observing, deciphering your game, professional football. There is one man in sports I do not bet against, especially when the stakes are highest and the pressure is greatest. That man is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. He is the no-doubt GOAT. Yet, he is the doubted GOAT by so many because I picked him and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win at New Orleans, to get revenge, to get even with their nemesis, the Saints. And you all but laughed at me on this show sitting in that very seat. Then I picked Tampa Bay to go up to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field and to outduel Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game, and you all but ridiculed me sitting in that same seat. So I'm not going to back off. I'm going to pick Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. to do it once more, to do what he has always done in Super Bowl games. I believe because he has won 6 rings with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime of Super Bowls, that he will do it again. We are going to see another late game-winning drive from Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, in which he is installed and instilled in the Patriot way in Tampa Bay, and they have caught fire right on schedule. I think they're a little hotter and a little more meant to be fairy tale story than the Kansas City Chiefs are. I've told you that I think the Chiefs have used up all 9 of their lives this year, and I think they won't have one left this time.
Hasn't Tom used up all 9 of his Super Bowl lives? Because the games have been close, remember?
Every game is close.
Because this is what I don't understand, Skip. The thing that you praise Brady for, winning close ball games, you and others have diminished Pat Mahomes for doing the exact same thing. They're not blowing people out. They're winning. I thought the objective was to win, not by how many. Tom Brady wins by 1, 2, 3 in the Super Bowl. That's great. Pat Mahomes wins. Man, they should be blowing these teams out.
Okay. So we'll see about that, because I think he's going to do exactly what he always does with a late game-winning field goal drive. But I think the script is going to be flipped on its head. I see a completely different game than you just detailed and outlined for me. I see the opposite of a shootout. I see a defensive struggle on both sides. I do. I see low score. I see 23-20 Tampa Bay over Patrick Mahomes. I say that Tom Brady will swallow his ego in ways that Andy Reid will not be able to. And for once, he'll say, this game is about playing keep away and letting my defense play the game it plays the best, which is takeaway. Who led the entire National Football League in takeaways? The Tampa Bay defense did. What did Patrick Mahomes do in his first Super Bowl a year ago? Well, late in the game, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, they were still down 20-10, and he threw 2 what I thought were ugly, eyesore interceptions. I was shocked by both of them. But he managed to overcome them by getting away with a 3rd and 15 from his 35 play with 7 minutes left in the game, in which he's got a rusher right in his face, and he just flings it to the moon into the left flat. And Tyreek had to stop, come back, wave for a fair catch, and catch it for 44 yards, and that saved the game. So by Patrick standards, I thought he was below par in that game. I thought that was a substandard performance by Patrick Mahomes. So I say, with the weight of the world on his shoulder pads, with the world already proclaiming this kid the greatest quarterback of all times, just on eye test, not obviously on resume, that he will get a little desperate because, to your point, they will have a hard time protecting him. I believe that the defense will swarm on him. I believe both those rushers, I believe the 2 inside rushers, I believe Vita Vea and Sue will have their impact, blowing up the pocket from the inside out. And I believe he won't be able to escape as usual because those 2 guys can run on the flanks. And I believe they'll mix in a blitz here or there, but mostly they're going to play cover 3. I think they're just going to play safe defense where you can't get behind us. Tyreek had 203 receiving yards in the first quarter of that game on November 29th at Tampa Bay. He's not going to have anywhere near that because they will double him and they will double Travis Kelce. And I believe this game is going to be about Tom Brady's duration of clutchness. I believe it will be more ball control. I believe they'll run the ball a lot more than you think they will, because I think they can run the ball on Kansas City. Yeah. I believe Brady will be the one in the meeting saying, hey, both of our safeties are iffy for this game. Antoine Winfield Jr., the quarterback of the defense who missed the Green Bay game, I don't know if he can go. He's been limited in practice. He's got a terrible ankle injury. And even if he tries to go, will he be half of what he used to be? I don't know.
Well, Skip, I believe in the first game they played, they wanted to run the football, but they went 3 and out on so many possessions and 17-0.
Well, when he throws for 359 yards in the first half, what do you think's going to happen?
Right.
Okay. So since then, one man has emerged, and his name is Leonard Fournette.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, he's starting to live up to the hype that he had at LSU when I thought he was going to win a Heisman Trophy. Our first year on the show, I predicted he would win that Heisman. And he went to Tuscaloosa once again, and he hasn't been seen since, right? Okay? So he finally found his rebirth, his second life in the NFL, if not from college football, in Tampa, just the way I believe. And by the way, Antonio Brown is practicing full speed. I think he's going to be a factor in this game, as in ball control. And I believe that Leonard Fournette is going to get somewhere around 100 yards rushing. I believe Leonard Fournette is going to catch 8, maybe 10 balls, because little known fact, your defense allowed the most receiving yards, of any team in the NFL, 2 running backs.
Right.
You can hurt them with running backs. Leonard Fournette can really, really catch it.
Yeah, but you need to be Leonard Fournette or Christian McCaffrey to make that pay off. And Leonard Fournette is not one of those guys in the receiving game. I granted he caught a big third down 2 weeks ago against Green Bay on fourth. It was fourth down, not third down. He's caught a couple of plays. He caught the angle route against New Orleans for the touchdown. So he's gotten better. But I don't believe Leonard Fournette is the guy that can beat you in the passing game like Alvin Kamara, like a Christian McCaffrey. But Tom does like to throw. Remember in that Super Bowl, Skip, he threw 14 passes to James White. He loves throwing to the running back because he'll take what you give him.
Agreed.
The one thing that we know about Tom, especially in this game, he will not force the football. And the times that he's forced it, he's paid the ultimate price.
Yep.
He forced one against Atlanta, Skip. He went pick 6.
He did.
He forced one against Seattle. They picked that. So normally Tom is very cautious when he throws the football in the Super Bowl because he knows you pay double for those types of interceptions.
Okay. So I believe you're going to see Brady at his subtle greatest, where it's going to be long drive greatness. And I believe that Tampa won this game, won this Super Bowl in the final 3 quarters of the November 29th game, in which it looked like they were about to get blown completely off their home turf. Because if you look at what happened in the last 3 quarters of that game, Brady threw for 313 yards, fairly quietly because it looked like they had been embarrassed.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. How many of those yards did he throw for when they was within one score?
Okay. Well, you can argue they took their foot off the gas. You can argue they relaxed on defense. You can argue all the above. But in the second half of that game, Patrick Mahomes threw for a grand total of 103 yards. They started to draw a bead on him. They started to figure out how to play him on defense, and Tom started to figure out how to play Spagnuolo's defense on offense. And it started to click because Tampa won the last 3 quarters 24-10. Tampa won the second half 17-7. 2 long drives in the fourth quarter directed by Brady, 75 yards and 73 yards, cut the score to 27-24 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, and the defense could not get him the ball back, or I believe he would have won that game.
But that's the thing, though, Skip. But you never had the ball with a chance to take the lead. You never had the ball when you were within 1 score.
Well, you were lucky they didn't have the ball.
You had the ball, Skip. You keep saying Patrick.
No, we didn't. The last 4-10, not once.
Skip, you keep saying that Patrick Mahomes only threw for 103 in the second half. Even though he did only throw for that fewer yards in the second half, he still had 100 more passing yards than Tom Brady threw for the entire game.
And he got him in the first quarter. Seriously. It was as an embarrassing a defensive scheme as I've ever seen. They stuck poor Carlton Davis, who's a talented kid, but he's just a kid, in single coverage on Tyreek much of the first quarter, some into the second quarter. And he got embarrassed. He gave up 200 yards receiving to Tyreek in single coverage.
Why you call him a poor kid? Now, when he was on the IG talking about Michael Thomas, he didn't say. I mean, you didn't say nothing about no. He didn't say no poor kid.
You know how corners are. You have to have indomitable spirit and confidence, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you did your thing on a Devontae when you making picks. Ain't nobody say nothing about no poor kid. Man up.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Yeah,
you just challenged him. I'm glad. Keep talking. I need it. He needs it.
Hey, he got to worry about me. He didn't worry about 10.
But you know what he's going to need most? Help.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to have help. Yes.
Well, his help needs to come from JPP and Shaq Barrett.
Okay.
That's where his help needs to come from.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. Tom Brady is going to win the clock in ways they couldn't win the clock the first time. They lost the clock 37 minutes to 23 minutes. If that happens in this game, it's lights out. It will be everything you think it is and most people think it will be, which will be Kansas City will score close to 40 points. It could get ugly if they win the clock 37 to 23.
Well, a lot of that, Skip, you got to realize their first 4 possessions they were three and out.
Okay.
Well, if you go 3 and out, that means you only have the ball probably 2 minutes of those 4 possessions because a lot of those are incomplete and you stopping the clock. And so you give Mahomes, and he put together a couple of long drives. Now, the one was only one play. He went 75 to Tyreek over the top. That didn't take a whole lot of time. But he did put together some other scoring drives. And even when they came away empty, Skip, that was a nice 8-9 play drive before Shaq Barrett got through there and forced a strip sack. in the red zone, or it was about to get real ugly. It was about to get Bubba Sparks in that thing. It was about to be 24-0.
What happened in the opening drive at Lambeau in the NFC Championship game? They go 3 and out?
No, they went right down the field. And
boom, boom, boom. 3rd and 4, boom. 3rd and 7, got it.
Yeah.
3rd and 9, got it. Touchdown. Okay?
And what did Green Bay do on their first possession? Sack.
Okay.
Shaq Barrett off the field. Boom.
Okay, that's got some potential to happen this time. But I do believe that they will mix in more runs, more short passes, more ball control, because Brady is genius at this. He knew he had to put Aaron on his heels at Lambeau by scoring first. They won the toss. Green Bay won the toss, and as most teams do, they deferred. And Brady said, oh, okay, watch this. This time, I believe more long drives because, as I wrote my piece the other day when I was talking about how underappreciated Brady still is, how underestimated he still is, he has no signature Super Bowl plays. He is spectacularly unspectacular. He doesn't throw no looks. He doesn't throw left-handed passes. There is zero Mahomes in Brady. So if we could see what I concluded about his clutchness in my piece that I wrote for FoxSports.com, I said, Brady is long drive clutch, subtle, steady clutch, extended clutch, monotonously, efficiently, effortlessly clutch, boringly clutch. That's what this guy is, and it's hard to love it because there's no wow factor to it. Mahomes is complete wow factor. Right. Brady is textbook. Mahomes is like watching the TMZ website. It's just like fireworks are going to go off everywhere. You know.
Well, I agree with you because most clutch players, whether no matter the sport, you have a signature moment, whether it's Tiger Woods on 18 at the U.S. Open, or maybe that shot that he spin back into the hole at Augusta National, or maybe it was Jordan holding the pole.
You can just keep going.
We think about it. Everybody's had that pose, that walk-off, that moment. And Tom is just basically, a lot of times when Tom wins the game, he's on the sideline.
Yep.
He Vinatieri kicked the field goal, or he's hoping his defense gets a stop. So you're right. I mean, he hadn't had that moment, but he's done some amazing things, especially because as many times as he had to throw the ball to get them in position of all the things that could have happened, Skip, a tip, guy bobbles the ball, a fumble. He's had none of that happen, really, on the last drive.
He has not. And remember, when you have 6 game-winning drives in fourth quarter overtime to win 6 rings, that means you went a long distance without one thing going wrong, because it just takes 1 inch, 1 ounce.
So he do. Okay. That's what you said about Mahomes. You said Mahomes them 9 lives, so he should be due.
Yeah, but this guy's got longevity resume.
Yeah.
This guy is the one guy that history screams, Shannon, be careful. In these moments, you don't bet against him.
Yeah. Even history says that if you do something long enough, the odds, if you fight long enough, Mayweather got out at 50. No, he knew if he kept trying to go, let me try to get to 51. Let me try to get to 52. The odds were not in his favor. The odds of you continuously putting together these game-winning drives are not in your favor, Skip.
Except he's Tom Brady.
Okay.
And your guy is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, boy.
And he's had a sensational start to his career, but he is not invincible. See last year's Super Bowl. And the totals for this game, the over-unders on the passing yards for each quarterback are high. And I think they're way too – you think they're both going to go over. Their over-unders are Brady's 300, Mahomes is 320. Yeah. I think neither will go over their totals.
Over that. I'm betting over.
Okay. Do you realize how many times Patrick Mahomes has thrown under 300 yards in his career? Because he does it a lot. Because it's hard to throw for 300 yards.
Yeah, but he's averaging 307 for a career. So do you know how many times he's thrown over 300 yards?
Okay, 7 times last year he went under 300. In the Super Bowl last year, he went under 300. In the AFC Championship last year against Tennessee at home, he went under 300. The season before, 9 times he went under 300 yards. In his MVP season, he went 8 times under 300 yards. So I say this is going to be more of a defensive struggle where he will have lots of pressure on him that he hasn't had before. I say it's going to be the most pressure he's going to have in his face, maybe in his career. And I believe that Tampa will take the ball away from him somehow via fumble, sack, fumble, interceptions. I believe they're going to have 3 turnovers.
You do realize that the guy's only turned the ball over twice in his playoff career.
Yep. I got
Twice.
it. Number 1 in takeaways is Tampa Bay. What have they been doing to everybody they play? What did they do to Drew Brees? What did they do at Green Bay?
We don't give it away, though. That's what we don't do.
Okay, well, good luck. And now we get to the psychological motivational factor. This is the icing on my cake. Tom Brady did not make the Pro Bowl, and it was a huge
He didn't
thing.
deserve it.
Okay? So Pro Football Focus graded him the second best quarterback in pro football, and then in the postseason, they've graded him number 1 in the postseason. And he did not make the Pro Bowl over Kyler Murray, who got the 3rd quarterback spot for the NFC.
Right.
Trust me, he is on fire for that.
Why are you on fire for that? He told Devin White, don't worry about the Pro Bowl. He got other bowls to worry about. So now he on fire for that?
Tampa Bay had no Pro Bowlers except JPP, who's a backup.
Yeah.
So Devin White did not make
No,
the Pro
I
Bowl.
thought Devin White.
Okay.
Now, you know what I think about him. I actually thought he should have made the Pro Bowl.
Okay, and I've told you all week that Kansas City is talking big, bad stuff. They are full of themselves.
What did he say?
We're going to talk about this a little later. It came to their owner, Clark Hunt, comparing Patrick Mahomes to Michael Jordan. That's how much they're full of themselves right now.
He's better than Mike.
And remember,
at the same point of their career, he was better.
Yeah, okay. There you go. You're doing it too good. You love it.
Am I lying?
We love it.
Am I lying?
We'll get to that. I'll get into that. But remember, Patrick Mahomes has been saying for 2 weeks, Tom's one of the best ever do it, if not the best. One of the best?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to talk about disrespect from a kid?
Michael Jordan would have never said somebody was better than him. Michael Jordan never said Larry was better than him. Mike was better than him. But so you want everybody, you judge everybody by Michael Jordan standards, except when it comes to Tom Brady. If they don't bestow him, put the crown on his head, how dare you do that? No. Patrick Mahomes said, I don't take a backseat to no one. And he's better at this point right now.
Okay, good. So we've established the fact that Patrick Mahomes believes he's better than Tom Brady.
He should.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. And finally, the coup de grace. And I'm sure they have shown this tape again and again and again in Tampa film sessions this week. Can we see what Tyreek did after the 17-0 touchdown on November 29th? We should see it over and over and over and over again.
You're probably going to see it again.
Yep.
You're probably going to see it again.
Okay. All right, good. I dare you, Tyreek. I dare you to backflip in the Super Bowl. I dare you.
Andy told him to say, wait, because, we don't want anybody to cheap shot. And, we won't be able to finish the game because we're going to swing it out. But anyway, Skip, you could have stopped that. You could have prevented that. All you had to do was just, stop Tyreek.
You're into lions and tigers and cheetahs.
I am.
So help me out. Is the cheetah not afraid of the lion?
Yes. What a lion?
Yes.
Lion can't catch a cheetah.
Tampa's got lions all over its defense.
Can't catch it. We the fastest land, man. We the fastest land.
But you know what happens when a lion does catch a cheetah? It's over.
It's over.
Your day coming.
Yeah.
Your day coming.
Your day is Sunday night. By the way, real quick, Jenny, before we go, I'm going to give you one shot at this. I will take the, 3 points. I'll take the 3 points I'll even just do it for one case because I'm going with the huge upset here.
No points.
No points?
No points.
Why? Are you afraid?
I tell you what I will do, though. I do 3 cases straight up.
Straight up?
Straight up.
I got to have the 3 points.
No, sir.
Well, why wouldn't it be? I thought it was going to be a 7-point game.
No?
Huh?
3 cases straight up.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.